You're entering CNBC TV18's Fire Safe Studio, powered by Century Ply, now with Firewall technology.
Welcome back. HDFC Life's May business has been, the month of May has been hit by the lockdown, obviously. Remember, the numbers looked healthy because it all comes on a very low base, May of 2020 being a lockdown month. To understand the outlook and how things will look as unlock starts, we are joined by Vibha Padalkar, Managing Director and CEO of HDFC Life. Vibha, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Well, can you begin by giving us some color? We know that YOY, your new business premiums have grown 47%, but YTD it is even 63%. Maybe you can give us more color by giving us month on month and how June, the first week, couple of weeks have looked over the locked months of April and May.
Sure. Good morning, Lata. So yes, while May as an industry did see a slowdown compared to April, and I think I heard Mr. Shankaraman also speaking, and very similar to varied industries and for various reasons that have been talked on your show. And also admittedly on a lower base of May last year, which also was phase one of or wave one of COVID. However, versus industry, if you were to look at HDFC Life's numbers on a standalone basis, we grew by 17% individual APE. And consequently, our market share also grew from 18.5% to 20.3%. On a overall basis for the industry, the growth did slow down. So private slowed down and degrew by 5%. Overall industry degrew by about 9%. Yes, April, like I said, saw almost 100% growth. And versus that, this has been somewhat tepid. But I think 17% against what we have gone through overall as a nation, I think is reasonably in a satisfying position and also relative to peer set. You also mentioned on a cumulative basis, on a 2-month basis, the private sector grew by about 37%. We again did better than the private sector and grew by 47%. Again, market share expansion even over the 2 months from 18.2% to 19.5%. To your question as to what does June look like, still I think another 45 days to go before really the impact of the curve flattening starts coming through. People start coming out of their houses or willing to engage and not sucked into the here and now survival issues. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay, cautiously optimistic. The most frequently used oxymoron, right? Vibha, hi, good morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about market share, a little more about market share, because if you look at it, some private insurers have a far higher sum assured market share than your company. Are you guys looking to increase your product portfolio especially to build the protection book? And what kind of market share are you targeting, say, over the next 12 months?
Sum assured, Sonia, is a little bit of an outcome, and we have to remember that we are against a pandemic. So the sum assured part of it, especially what pulls it up is the term business, because typically against a 10x sum assured, you would have anything between a 200 to a 400x sum assured. So we will tread cautiously there, and also because there are some headwinds in terms of people not being able to go for their medicals. This is at least in the retail space, and we don't really want to go down the path which we do see very often of onboarding customers with no medicals at all. So, for example, even after a COVID recovery, we would want a chest X-ray. Reinsurers want a chest X-ray. But clearly, we don't want to push the customer to go in for a chest X-ray. So our advice to the prospective customer is to wait for another quarter or at least a couple of months before we engage once more. So you will see a little bit of tepid growth in sum assured. However, if you look at our overall sum assured, so this includes our credit life business, for the month of May, for example, it has grown over 50%. So overall, while it looks low because of the retail, for the reasons I mentioned to you, credit life requires, it's on very large numbers and a higher amount of sum assured that we can take onto our books without people having to go for medicals. So that's what you're seeing right now.
Okay.
But on a slightly longer term, and I think I also heard Mr. Shankaraman talking about two halves of the year last year. Exactly like that. I think we will see very distinct two halves of this year as well. Of course, the joker in the pack being that is there going to be a third wave and
Of
how
course.
impactful. Leaving that aside, I think again we'll see two very distinct two halves of this year.
No, hopefully we'll be better prepared for the third wave
Absolutely.
with more
Yeah.
vaccination. So shouldn't be, at least the peak should not be anywhere near the current one. Vibha, the other, we are just parsing your May data this way and that, and we find that your individual premiums, APEs, have lagged. Annual premium equivalence has lagged, but the group single premiums have done very well. Group yearly renewable premium has done well, though of course that's a small one, but group single premiums are done very well. Is there a tendency of companies now to become more alert to this?
Yeah, the reason is, and when you say lag, just to put things into context, it is a 17% growth versus
Yes.
our group premiums have grown almost 3.5 to 4 times.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. That is because group forms is part of two parts really. One is the funds business, superannuation, gratuity, and so on. That also we have done fairly well. And also in terms of credit life. Credit life is really what is making the difference, because last year, if you remember, NBFCs, banks, small finance banks really went into a freeze and did not lend, especially in the first quarter. So there is a base effect over there, and that's what you're seeing, the growth coming back in credit life. And as lending happens, we are one of the chosen partners, and we are able to have our attachment rates fairly robust, and that's the growth that you're seeing.
Okay, all right. Actually, all those numbers are running for our viewers. The group single premium has, as you say, trebled from 176 crore to 375 crore in the month of May. What about claims? Anecdotally, we unfortunately have heard too many fatalities in our circles itself. How much have they gone up? And, if you can give us both this April, May versus last April, May, and even a YTD number if you can.
So exactly what we are experiencing in our individual lives, personal lives, and our own circle, and hearing and reading about it, the insurers are no different. What we are seeing in the economy is really what is panning out, and the claims have been fairly meteoric in the month of May. Having said that, was it entirely unexpected when?
One minute, Vibha, one minute. Because even last year we are comparing with the COVID wave month, April, May were bad months. So if you can give us a 3-year, how much was the 2020 first quarter over the previous, and how much is this quarter over the last, over your normal average, normal run rate?
Yeah, I'll give it to you in percentages.
Lata. Sure.
So in terms of in the first 2 months of this year versus first 2 months of last year, it is, depending on which cohort of book that you're seeing, it is anything between 4x to 10x.
Ooh.
So it's extremely significant what we're seeing, because last year, while there were a lot of perhaps people falling ill, the death rate, at least in our customer segments of people who have bought insurance, the death rate wasn't as significant. While the death rate here clearly, it's very evident that it has been very, very significant, and that is really panning out. Second reason here is that in terms of people now getting used to the concept of insurance. So a lot more people perhaps have started buying insurance, and for the good reason than previous. One aspect which we are yet to see is on the group business. We haven't seen as much. So what I'm talking about, just as a caveat, is on the individual business. Yeah, on the individual business.
Fair.
And that's why most of the senior companies have strengthened their COVID reserves. We'll continue to watch it. My personal view is that this will again flatten maybe towards end of July.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are also seeing in the overall economy.
Yeah, I agree with you. After you throw me a number like 4x to 10x, I'm hardly able to talk numbers, but I'll still try. Does this mean you will have to increase premiums, the cost itself, because ultimately you have to, you're holding the baby? And secondly, what has this meant in terms of your numbers? Will it show in this year's numbers as a higher cost and therefore lower profit?
If it flattens, Lata, which I very strongly believe it will, we should be okay in terms of. However, if this rolls into the next phase of the pandemic, and it is even more severe than the first, and there are different schools of thoughts as to how much the virus really strengthens as against weakens, and whether the vaccinations are good enough for the next wave. So that's the real unknown. And so right now, we believe that the strengthening of the reserve that we did, the 165 crores, is sufficient, but with this caveat. And another aspect is that we do partner with reinsurers. So the holding the baby, it's actually a joint responsibility. Having said that, they are our partners, and we will continue to go by the rules that have been agreed with reinsurers.
Okay.
But really, the reason why we are all in this business is to pay claims. So this is the moment of truth. And right now, we do think that our balance sheet is reasonably protected, but we'll continue to watch this every quarter.
Okay. Thank you very much. It wasn't pleasant asking you that question, but that is the business of life insurance. Thank you very much, Vibha, for joining us. We will run you through the past financials of HDFC Life, but really what is staying with us is that claims have risen 4 times what it was last quarter, and in some cases even 10 times. Okay, but let's get back to markets where the picture is much more pleasant, Anuj.
Oh yes, Lata, the reason I was harping so much on the Bank Nifty, both in the first segment and second segment, was purely because of this. This is the typical Wednesday factor, especially when you have a down day on Tuesday and you don't break the Tuesday low by much. If you plan your trade, you get a big one on Wednesdays on the Bank Nifty. And look at that move now, 300 points higher after starting 100 point lower. So you've already got about 400 points on the Bank Nifty. And again, all it required was just a 2% intraday move on HDFC Bank and some support from Kotak and ICICI Bank. So that really is the big trade. Now, how much is left, we don't know. Let's ask Mitesh. In fact, Mitesh, morning again. So big move from the low point. But what's the call here now, and what would be your individual stock calls?
So Anuj, early in the morning we were talking about Bank Nifty, and I said I think if it claims 35,200, I think that will kind of add some momentum. I think that's happened. The first target for the Bank Nifty is 35,500, and then we can look at the recent swing highs of 35,700, 750 also being visited. So I think the Bank Nifty reversal is definitely a good sign. Keep holding on to your longs, and I think in that sense today's low becomes a good trailing stop for people who are trading with some kind of aggressive positions. On the stock side, pharma has come back as a sector. I think yesterday afternoon we saw some momentum come in. So I have 2 pharma names on the buy side. Glenmark, disclaimer, we have some covered call positions over here. That's a buy with a stop at 628 for targets of 660, and Lupin is a buy with a stop at 1236 for targets of 1290.
Okay, and we have Prakash Gaba also joining us. Prakash, good morning. How are you approaching trade now?
Well, good morning, Anuj. I think we have a target of 15,861. That should happen by tomorrow. So far, dips are buyable on Nifty. And I'll play this long move via my pharma bet. The first one is Cipla, certainly looking good. There is a momentum up here, and the target on the upside is closer to in the vicinity of 990. Stop below 950 on Cipla should be fine. The second one is Torrent Pharma. What a move it has seen. It's a reversal pattern out here. Target on the upside in the vicinity of 2950. Stop below, I would say 2830 should be okay.
Okay, well, thanks, gentlemen, for joining us. Pharma is definitely ruling the roost, and just look at the way the market is moving now. Mid-cap index up over 200 points. But let's do one thing. Since we're talking about pharma and it is the flavor of the day, when we come back, an expert will be joining us, Sameer Baisa.